Dear channel followers, welcome back to my channel and to another new video. So today's video is on an interesting topic of aerial refueling. We'll see who invented this, why is it practiced, why only in fighter jets. Do not get mistaken, only in fighter jets, and why is it done. So there's a lot of information coming in the next few minutes. So without wasting more time, let's get started. So aerial refueling was started by Alexander Nikolaevich. I think that's the correct pronunciation, and he invented this procedure in 1912, back then during the war period. Okay, so why aerial refueling in the first place? You might ask, why is there a need to do aerial refueling, and why just not go down, refuel up and come back? So in the first place, we need to understand that fighter jets are not like the normal commercial jetliners. Like you have the A380, the A350, 777s, not like that. It's much small and very powerful. Okay, the engines are really powerful. They produce a lot of thrust. It's not that high compared to the commercial jetliner, but it is extremely high for that size of plane. So you have speeds up ranging up to 1200 km per hour. So that is extremely fast, whereas the commercial jetliners can only fly up to the speeds of 600 km maximum, 600 km per hour maximum. So you are having a very high speed. So because you're going to be going on a high speed, you'll be burning more and more fuel, and on top of that, the capacity of the fighter jet is really less. The fuel carrying capacity is less. It is nearly only ranges up to 9 to 10 tons. Okay, so sorry for that, 9 to 10 tons. So that is very high. 9 to 10 tons is also a big deal for that aircraft, because the aircraft needs to be very nimble in order to make barrel rolls. If you see, they don't fly in a normal angle. They can fly at they even fly in a 90-degree angle kind of flight. So you have a lot of g-force acting on, so chances are that you might crash because of carrying so much of heavy fuel. You might crash and the burn would be much higher. So the burn would be much higher because you're carrying more fuel, more weight, so obviously it will be burning more fuel. So then why do we need aerial refueling? So this solves the big problem of refueling back. So suppose if you're in an activity or you're doing some mission or something, okay, depends on the military force. So you're doing some activity and suddenly you're running out of fuel. Okay, so you do not have to go back to the base. You have to descend, you have to go back, you have to land, then you have to go aside, you have to refuel up, and then you have to again take off. So there is a lot of time waste, first of all, and secondly, you tend to burn more fuel in order to land and to take off. So that is actually not feasible because you're burning so much of fuel, and it is obviously harmful for the environment. So in seeing those aspects, aerial refueling is really helpful. Now you might ask how aerial refueling is done, because you have nothing on the air. It's just air and clouds, that's all. So to do this activity or to perform this process, you need an tanker. That's the tanker, you call it a tanker. The aircraft which carries fuel for the fighter jets is known as the tanker. So the very common practice is known as the drogue and the probe. So the drogue and the probe, you will be seeing an image. Now you might see a funnel kind of a object that is ejecting out from the tanker aircraft, which will be giving the fuel, and the probe which will connect into that funnel and will receive fuel from the tanker so that it refuels up. Now what all is done? So in order for that to happen, you need a boom pilot who will basically sit at the exterior, at the end, not in the exterior, at the end of the aircraft, and will be monitoring the jet that is being refueled, and he or she will be basically regulating the amount of fuel that is to be transferred. Now that is how it happens. So wherein the tanker aircraft actually carries more fuel. So basically it top ups to the full capacity, so that no fighter jet runs out of fuel, or they can do this procedure of aerial refueling for almost every fighter jet. If you have 5-6 fighter jets, you can. And the more thing is, you have less range. So with a constraint of fuel capacity, you can only fly like up to, like, example, 3700 kilometers or 4000 kilometers. So if you're doing an activity which will burn more fuel and you'll be covering more distance, so in that case it does not make sense to again go land and do all those stuff. So for that, aerial refueling is the best to do that. Now, what all things is kept in account while doing this aerial refueling? Now, unlike the TCAS system, that is the traffic collision avoidance system, which I'll be covering in an future video. So basically you need to maintain a good amount of distance, like not like 1-2 nautical miles, a good amount of distance, so that in an emergency you eject the fuel probe and you just fly off, so that there is no kind of accident that happens mid-air. And you have a theta angle of somewhere around 35-36 degrees, which is the usual general angle that is maintained in order for this lineup. So basically you can have the tanker aircraft in the middle and two fighter jets on side by side, or 3 fighter jets having some angle of 35-36 degrees with some small distance of 300-400 meters, so that you do not go and crash. And moment the refueling is done, the probe and the drogue is taken back. Basically the probe is retracted back in the jet and the drogue is retracted back into the tanker aircraft. So that is how it is done. And the major and the very big key part is precision. It always needs a very high amount of precision, because any one wrong step you do, then you might have flames in air, and which might cause accident. So guys, I hope you like this video. Then please do like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. Hope this video is really amazing and interesting for you all. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Stay tuned, take care, be safe. Bye bye.